Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here. We are back with the debrief. We're back with the best panel show in the world. Yes, in the world. Sorry I'm late. Never happens. First time ever. But we're back here discussing Leeds United. We're back here discussing transfers. We're back here discussing Salford City in Manchester. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastically well. Let's get into a few of your comments. What's good? Hi, everyone says Rennie. Jason's in the building. Hey up. Hello. Somerville, Strauch and Perot. Yeah, I tried to get it going last week, but Gabe doesn't know who status quo are, so it was a bit of a problem. Championship, champions of Leeds United. Connor's clock is always slow. Yeah. Jed Spence, let's get into it. Yep, everybody, I'm just going to get a few others in the building. A few others are, of course, Gabe Stoutamore. I think I've got that name right. Gabe Stoutamore. And, of course, my favourite, Oscar Marriott. That's how we're doing.
My favorite. Oscar, you're the favorite. Congrats. Hope it feels great.
Well, Oscar's, I don't know. I've always got a real soft spot for Oscar. I've always, me and Joe, I've always had a bit of a, we're always talking about Oscar. We just love Oscar. So I've got a bit of a soft
Oscar, do you know what I think is kind of funny? Is that this guy starts out every stream the same way. I'm hoping other people do fantastically well, but we know deep down that's not what he hopes.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a miserable day. Fuck you all. Hope you're all miserable.
The most miserable YouTuber in the Leeds United space.
That's it. Hey, listen. The most realistic. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
How are we all doing anyway? Oscar, you all right? Looks like that light.
Mate. Yeah, doing good.
You need a filter on that light, my friend. It's beaming down on you.
I know. It's good.
Heaven's eye.
Heaven's eye, yeah.
Well, that's something sort for next week.
That's it, yeah.
Oscar, is that a stag in the background that you got there? A nice.
It is. It's yeah. It's just
Does it signify anything? Does it signify anything?
Just there. It's a bit vibing, isn't it?
Jed Spence running down the wing. Anything?
Yeah. Jed Spence is faster than that anyway.
I'll
run that any day of the week.
Yeah, but not as good defensively as Luke Haley. Never forget that.
Let's not go there. Well, let's do so.
We're less than 5 minutes in. He's already done it.
Let's just say,
Gabe,
tackles won does not equate to being a good defender. That's the only take I'm going to say. Tackles won.
Are we already jumping into poor Luke Ayling? Oh my goodness!
Getting rattled. Stop getting rattled already, my friend. I'm the one who gets rattled on this show. Don't put that out of context, please. Gabe, how are you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Nice, beautiful day north of Boston out here in the forest. So it's good.
Out in the forest, yeah. I can't imagine you in a forest, to be fair. Any stags in the forest that you live in?
Have I gone on a stag do in the forest? I think what you really want to know. And no.
Well, yeah, that would be interesting. Connor in the Harry Potter cupboard. Yes. The Harry Potter cupboard is back for this one anyway. I'm not sitting on a sofa and getting that whole sort of thing sorted in there whilst I'm speaking to these two. It's way too much effort. People starting to warm to the 49ers now. Yeah, I guess so. Rate Jed Spence.
We're going to get into it. I cannot wait to have this show.
Stop getting upset. Rate Jed Spence down out of 10, Connor. Oscar actually did this on his... If you don't follow Oscar on Twitter, go check out @Oscar Mario. We're doing the promos already. Oscar, what was your rating of Jed Spence? I believe there was a bit of a loan clause in your rating as well.
Yes, there was. I think it went 9 out of 10, and it goes straight up to a 10 if there's an option to buy in this loan clause. If there is an option to buy at a decent price, it's a straight up 10 out of 10, but 9 out of 10. I mean, the £1 million loan fee is absolutely nothing if he's anything like what he was at Forest, or Ren last season. So, this is absolutely unreal business from Leeds. He's just got that aura about him, Jed Spence. I really like him. Some people like at Tottenham have said, oh, he's arrogant, oh, he's this, oh, he's that. For me, I just think it's confidence, and I just think you need confidence in your team. I think we've got too many players in a team who've been part of a miserable last couple of years at Leeds. I just think Jed Spence, Rodon, Perot, they've injected some new energy into the team. We'll hope Jed Spence can inject some new energy into the team as well, but I just think all round it just seems such a perfect deal, this one.
They have, Carlos.
It just seems makes so much sense. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I think I mentioned Jed Spence back in January on loan, in terms of to cover our right back situation then.
I think we've mentioned Jed Spence since his 2021 season, haven't we, really? Like in general, because he was unbelievable, wasn't he, that season for Forest?
Because how old actually is Jed Spence? I don't even
23,
know.
23, isn't he?
I was going to say, it's a good age, that. It's, you know what I mean?
Are we really going to trust Tottenham fans to assess a player's mentality? Sorry, it just
Yeah, but
there's that as
but
well.
he didn't play for Tottenham. So
that's what I mean. Like, it's not really I'm not really. Even if he did, like, listen, the last fan base I want to listen to about what it takes to win and mentalities and arrogance or whatever, it's going to be Tottenham fans.
Yeah,
and what's been funny as well, there's compilations out there of him pocketing Kylian Mbappe for Rennes last season. I mean, that's not even an exaggeration either.
There's one of Christensen out there doing that, by the way. We can't trust YouTube too much.
To be fair, I do have to back him up on this, Oscar. There is one of Christensen pocketing Mbappe, to be fair.
That's true.
But you feel like Spencer's a bit more swag there, don't you? So it's Niall says Spence played 8 games last year. True, but he is coming back to the Championship where when he first went to the Championship with Nottingham Forest, he never played there before in general, and he was unbelievable that season. So I'm quite looking forward to a potential Somerville and Jed Spence right hand side, or maybe a Willie Nonso Jed Spence right hand side. That would be the best right hand side in the division. So yeah, that's what I'm quite looking forward to.
And when Connor says that,
mate,
about us,
those words I'm looking forward to. It just.
Do you know what though? I'll make an even bolder statement, which I've said already. This is a level up from the Aarons signing. Level up.
Yeah.
If you were to offer me that week when we were talking to Aarons, and even on the day, who would you rather sign, even if it was on loan, if we had like an option to sign, yeah, that would be nice. But if you offer me like Leeds permanently signing Aarons or a loan with an option to buy Spence, I'm going Spence all day.
Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
So Spencer's all round a far better player than Max Aarons. I'd say it's not even close, to be honest. I'd say he's just a far better player all round. He's better going forward, better defensively, better on the ball. I just think it made a lot more sense.
He's winding you up. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Joe, come on. We had him in a good place. Now look what you've done.
He's going to take it.
We move on. Thank you for your donation.
Have you seen his face turn red? Look at it. It's
Leeds all the way.
The blood pressure.
Leeds all the way. Thank you so much for the donation, my friend. We are all good, I believe. Speaking for everybody else, but I tell you what. Before we thoroughly get onto Spence, let's start with the Amiri saga.
I love this story. This is great.
Which is just, I don't really, I mean, it's great because we've actually got stimulus now. We actually have something to talk about instead of just tumbleweed at Leeds United and shite results against Cardiff and West Bromwich Albion. But, now we actually have transfers to discuss. This Amiri one was exciting. Gabe was getting a full-on hard-on at the start of the week for Amiri, which was great to see.
Would be best number 10 since Pablo Hernandez for us.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, at this moment in time, it seems like we've gone through a bit of an issue. He apparently, it was rekindled after the weekend. He got a dodgy stream and he watched Leeds take apart Ipswich, and apparently the move was back on. Came over to Leeds on a private jet, apparently. It's speculation, of course. Some people are saying that didn't happen, but apparently he came over to Leeds and he saw Leeds and Thorpe Arch and turned around and said, "Fuck that."
He took one look around at the training ground and decided I'm not up for this. I'm not up for this 3 p.m. in the winter, sun going down thing.
Yeah. From Beeston back to Bonn in Germany, I think it is. So,
do you know what I like about the story, Connor? Aside from the fact that he just truly looked around and said "nah" and ran away, which is quite funny.
And it seems the best thing about it is that seems legit as well.
It does.
Everybody's saying the same thing.
It does.
He looked around and was Thorpe Arch, Leeds.
What I like most about it, though, is that it's from. Again, this is all sort of alleged, right? We don't have a confirmed report, but I imagine there's going to be some.
Gabe, sorry, I feel like I just want Leeds United.
No. I know he said it's off.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry.
I mean, the alleged part is we don't yet know exactly why. But if the reports are true that he wasn't too keen on more than a season in the Championship and wanted a clause, and 49ers were basically like, no. Like, I quite like that, like we're not going to be back in the situation where because you know what Victor Orta would have done. He would have.
He'd have signed him.
Yeah,
not only would he have signed him, included in the contracts.
Not only would he, yeah, exactly. He would have signed him. Like it would have been. I think the asking price was like between 3 to 5 million or something like that. Orta would have paid 15 million, 10 more than they wanted, and then given him like a 6-year contract with like a mandatory loan clause if we didn't go up next season.
Yeah. Like, apparently Phil's just said club also unhappy with suggestions that the move fell apart because Amiri didn't like the city. Thought conversations with Barker had gone well and felt transfer had run into trouble before Amiri was photographed in the city centre. So that is, it's kind of.
Wait, it was a real photograph.
Well, that's what Phil said. Yeah, so I think it is kind of.
No, I think Phil's been duped by Lord Ash.
Maybe, but club frustrated by additional demands made in discussions flew him over, but declined to pay for the flight home. Deal
I love
dead.
that. No, I love that. I love that too. Listen,
that's amazing.
I mean, Amiri's had to make his mind up. Does he want to be on the bench at Leverkusen, or does he want a move to a championship club? You know, he has to make that mind up. I'm not saying that for Amiri we're the absolute ideal destination, but at the end of the day, we're coming for him. As far as I'm aware, no other clubs are coming for him so far. Certainly not above us.
Marseille pulled out, didn't they?
Yeah, Marseille pulled out, you know, and Marseille are very desperate when it comes to footballers. I mean, when you see some of the signings they've made over the years. So, yeah, it's one. I've just realised I'm going to get Marseille Twitter is going to invade my inbox now after what I've just said.
Yep.
Oh, mate. Yeah. It can't be worse than the US men's national team Twitter that we had last year. It can't be worse.
Nothing could be as bad as that. No offense to Gabe, though.
Mate, Gabe puts himself away from the US men's national team.
I'm between two worlds. I am a US men's national team fan, and I won't apologize for it. But yeah, I don't think I'm not quite the same as some of those accounts. Although there are plenty of Leeds fans that clip up everything we say.
Oh yeah,
They post it up on Twitter and they don't tag us, and so I usually get in the replies. I'm like, man, just at least credit me for my work.
Exactly. Oscar, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, mate. I think he's an Irish sensation.
No, I'm not. To be fair, I can't say I have. But
what's he called?
Oh, okay.
Are we asking?
I'm not.
Nearly got you.
Gone straight in with 2 feet.
I thought he was going to read it out. The Irish.
I thought the name was looking at the name. Thinking that's not an Irish name. It was close. I wasn't a million miles off that, you know.
An Irish Chilean finger in the ass.
Ben Brereton Diaz again.
So yeah, it sounds like absolute chaos. Listen, from a player's
as well. We talked about Paintsel too.
I guess just to surmise on Amiri, it'd have been a good sign. With 5 million would have been an absolute steal. We all know this. It'd have been incredible, but it's disappointing. I mean, Paintsil's the next one where it just, stands still again. Obviously, Southampton came in for him as well. Apparently, there were discussions there. Paintsill wants to move to Leeds, according to speculation. As we say, it's just all rumours at the minute. But
that's more encouraging, though. I mean, with Amiri, we never really had that noise that he wanted to move. You know, it was always like on and off, on and off. And I think it got to a point with Amiri where I think yesterday that's your final straw. That if he, actually turns up in the city, doesn't want the move, you can't then suddenly make the move happen. You know, even if you go up to his demands, you know, in terms of wanting to leave the club next season, it could not have happened. But with Paintsil, the importance of that one depends on Sinisterra, really. Because I think we're all realistic enough to know that Luis Sinisterra is far too good for this level. He is far too good for this level. He's closer to being a Champions League player than he is a Championship player. I'd genuinely say he's that good. He's the best player in the league. The reality is we're going to have a struggle to keep Luis Sinisterra, and it'll be super impressive if we do. But Paintsil, to me, you know, certainly reading in between the lines of what Phil Hayes said, feels like the replacement readily prepared. And I think he's a fine replacement at that. And if he wants to move, that's encouraging. And to be honest with you, even if Sinisterra stays, I would definitely be up for signing Paintsil as well, because I think it's just a super useful profile to have in the squad. And I think he's an outstanding talent. Sinisterra as well, injury-wise.
Do you think he'd fulfill that 10 role, Oscar?
Potentially, yeah. I think he's played there for Genk. The fact that Sinisterra hasn't played a full season for Leeds yet, he's been injured most of this season as well, so it's something else to consider. But yes, definitely in the 10 role, I could see that working pretty nicely. I think you saw it on Saturday when we were playing we're going to go on to this 4-4-2 stuff, but yeah, we kind of saw loads of different players going into the 10 role during the game, and I don't think we actually necessarily need a natural number 10. I think we just play all our attacking talent on the pitch at once, and we just try and fit them in as best as we can. They all rotate positions. It's just super fluid, and I think Paintsill fits into that really well, to be honest.
Daniel Agart said, "Hey Connor, thanks for the donation, mate. I'm close to Gabe neighborhood, but my daughter is not a soccer fan. I try for her to be a fan of Leeds." Good man, Daniel. That's what we like to hear. Let us know what whereabouts you are, and maybe
I'm slightly concerned that you know what neighborhood I live in.
That's great, Daniel.
No, I'm just kidding, Daniel.
Daniel, I'll supply you with money to get bricks and everything. Mate. Head round to Gates.
Wait, Connor, you're a bit of a history buff, aren't you? Right. So, do you know what this Amiri thing reminds me of?
Go on.
When the Kennedys came to tour Buckingham Palace, and Jacqueline Kennedy just got lit and started apparently just criticizing everything about Buckingham Palace, how it was a ruin and stuff like that. It really offended the Queen.
It's when you started with the Kennedys.
The Kennedys, fucking hell.
I mean, I can just imagine Amiri like them be like, "All right, this is our training ground. This is Greg's, and this this is the train station." Him just being like, "Right."
Ryan's asked if you live on Fringe Avenue.
French Crop Circle.
It's real low level humor here tonight. So what else have we spoken? A lot of people asking Elias Chair. Well, asking, but making a statement. James says, "Oh, here, Elias Chair or James, McAtee."
McAtee's again, like Spence, he's better than Amiri. I would honestly prefer McAtee.
Pitsy.
Connor, your audio just glitched.
Pitsy.
Connor's just saying the T on repeat.
Pitsy.
What a disaster.
He's a good player, but he's not that good.
Is he just gone?
Yeah, solid.
This happened the other day. Like, everybody loves when I start rapping. Let's go again. I mean, I was talking about James McAtee, but I mean, this show is absolutely pathetic today. So
you got that excited about James McAtee.
Is that better? Is that any better, or is it still going?
Just remember, our producer is also Connor.
I actually really enjoyed how you both started clicking. Then it was in unison. So if anybody else wants to clip that up, and we can make that into maybe a little intro or a little mid roll, who knows? Yeah, nice little beat. Get funky, says Rennie. So yeah, James McAtee would be very nice. I'm a bit confused as to why nobody's pressed the ignition on Elias Chair. I don't really get that. That seems so obvious, but then to me, Lewis O'Brien seemed obvious. Charlie Taylor seemed obvious. So yeah, I don't know. What
you know why with Lewis O'Brien it's not happened, right? The wages are just maybe it comes down to that as well. I mean, look, this is the championship, and I know like money's flying around for players in ways that even for championship players that never would have happened before. That being said, like I think a club's ability to carry high wages is, in this division, not great.
The boy in the bandana says McAtee is in City plans. No, he's not. I think they're just offering him out there. They offered him out to Wolves today. So there you go.
It's weird no Prem clubs took him up, like McAtee, for what he did in the Championship last season. He's been mentored by Pep Guardiola. It's a weird one, that, to me. McAtee's not being snapped up.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? You sometimes do see that in the Championship when players do. I mean, another one, mate, from the City end again, which I do not understand how nobody's gone for him, is Taylor Howard-Bellis.
Yeah,
exactly. So good last season. And as of right now, Ian Maatsen, another one who's on loan at Burnley, like nobody has taken him up yet. And it's like, Howard-Bellis, you do think for his age, they're asking 15 million, which is what City seem to do for everything, and they seem to get a really good value for these like youngsters. But 15 million for him, you've got him at 21. Like, he's evident that he potentially could go to a top 4 club at some time. City are going to have a buyback clause on him, of course. But you just think Leeds are going to make profit at some point, or they're going to get a player who is very good at passing out from the back, is very good at any state in defending. And it's an interesting one. There's a couple of players out there who you wonder, do you think there are going to be some, do you think Leeds are set now? When we're talking about, there's a lot of discussion about Luke Thomas at Leicester. There's obviously Jed Spence, Kamara, Paintsil, Amiri. Do you think they're the links that are going to be that we're just sort of going with those players now? Or do you think there's going to be some maybe random ones in there? Those ones that I've just mentioned there. Do you reckon there could be a few curveballs?
Possibly. I mean, a name we've seen in there as well is Oscar Bob from Man City. He is absolutely, not just because his name's Oscar, by the way, he is absolutely unbelievable. He's Mini Mahrez, honestly. He is absolutely unreal. Mahrez.
If Leeds fans haven't watched Oscar Bob, get on YouTube. Oscar Bob is so good. Like, if we managed to get, he was on the bench for City at the weekend, and I was trying to ask the writers, I was like, do you reckon he'll go out and learn? Do you reckon he'll go out and learn? They're like, no, they think he's going to be the next Foden. They reckon, so they want to keep him with the team. That'd be nice. Oscar Bob, what a name as well. What do you reckon?
What a legendary name that is.
Oscar Bob.
Here we go again with this.
Oscar Bob. Bob. Not long to go now. Scummering for Luke. No, they're not. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me with them, to be fair. Scumming for Luke Thomas. They are after a left back. Who knows?
But there's bound to be some names that just come up out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, to be fair, Jed Spence kind of did, if you think about it. I mean, he was never really mentioned until like a couple of days ago.
I think it looks like Kamara's probably rowing a boat down the river to get to Leeds very slowly, but I have a sense, and I think most of the reporting has been that like Kamara is going to get over the line. I think that some of the players you two were just mentioning, you'd imagine that like City in particular has a lot of options for these guys, and some of these loan signings like go in the last 2 or 3 days, you know. So I'm sure there's plenty more to come in terms of activity on the market before the window closes. But I would like to, I mean, personally, I would like to see us get a left back in. I think that's really important. And I think if it's Kamara, if it's Tanaka, I know there's been some mixed reporting on that, but I still think we need midfield cover. Obviously, I would love for a Paintsil move to happen. That it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think attacking wise, if we somehow manage to keep hold of Luis Sinisterra, I'm not going to have any concerns. I think the team now, with the additions that we've made, can compete for a playoff spot. I think that if we're going to do better, we probably need a couple more signings before the end of the window. But I think for like the mid-table position, we're not long for that with some of the players we've already brought in, I think.
I'd agree. I'd actually say if we can get 2 or 3 more bodies into the building, I think top 2's on. To be honest, genuinely do think top 2's on with this squad. I think it's an unbalanced squad. There's still unbalanced. You know, there's areas of the team where you're thinking, oh, probably could improve that, could improve this, could improve that. But if we add some signings, get some depth, I just think that front 4 and the fact you've got Somerville to come back into that as well is going to win us so many games on its own. I think you just accumulate so many points just from that. And I'm not even sure Southampton are as good as what I was saying before. You know, and says I think they have maybe hit a bit of a stumbling block. The fact Teller's gone. You know, I've never felt Teller would go. Adams may potentially still go as well. Probably less likely now.
I think Bella Kotcher's going as well, isn't it? To buy him.
That's huge.
Yeah. Some of these Leicester players are going too, aren't they? Like I've seen a couple of reports here and there. So some of these squads are getting weaker. While I guess we could only get stronger after last season and the players we all had going out. But I have to say, like, if we were still in the Premier League and you gave me the side we had last season, the side we have now, I'd prefer the side we have now. I know that sounds maybe a little bit wild to say, but
this team would batter the team last season.
Yeah, they would.
They would. Imagine it would. It would absolutely run over that team last season. It would, especially if you add Spence into that. Like how they've been coached with the fact that we keep the frigging ball is a start. You know, and it would. It'd tear them apart. Yeah, 100%.
It doesn't have Rasmus Christensen and Diego Llorente. I mean, you'd have basically Sinisterra against Christensen, Pereira against Llorente. Yeah. It get absolutely cooks, that team from last season.
And it'd be Farker versus Jesse. You know, the most triggering thing about the intro to my channel has been that Jesse AI bot that people just lose their mind over.
It sent me shivers down my spine, that, to be honest. Sky's reporting that Leeds are open to let Rutter go if they can What would you do here? This is an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, Sky reporting as well earlier on that apparently we turned down 29 million euros for Rutter in the early part of the window, which
before he even had a nice game.
Yeah. Which is nuts. I mean, it says that we're in a very good financial position, and B, surely it says that the club have got ultimate faith in Rutter. I mean, yeah, I mean, what a mad scenario that is from.
Do you think that's what it means? The latter part, that they have ultimate faith in them, or do you think it's more of, listen, this club spent a lot of money on him. We think this player has some upside. We're not ready to cut him for a loss just yet before we can recoup value.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, if they're negotiating, are you going to get any team getting close to that?
If he puts two past Salford today, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair,
then I would sell him for 35. Like,
it's not the Premier League. I'm not sure. I'm not sure you can market that as him scoring. Let's say even towards the back end of the window, if he scores, let's say tonight, twice or something like that, I'm not sure that's going to up his transfer value by like 7 or 8 million. But
the issue remains, though.
It's a weird way.
He can only play in front two. I mean, his performance not last night against Ipswich came in like a front two or a 4-4-1-1, whatever you want to call it. He had a presence up top alongside him in Perot. I still, despite he was absolutely superb against Ipswich, no doubt about it. Second best player on the pitch after Sinisterra. He was incredible, I thought, on Saturday, to be honest, the performance he put in. But they're still showing nothing to suggest that he could do the job as a single striker or on the right, left, middle of a three behind the main man. And if you're being realistic, most clubs in Europe, certainly the teams that are going to be paying 35 mil, are only going to play one striker up top. Most teams these days play 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 3-4-3. They don't tend to play two up top. So unless it's literally Hoffenheim coming back in for him, and I think Leon were mentioned as well, I don't see it, but I'm quite happy to keep Rutter if he can continue to perform like that. But again, I've still seen nothing from Rutter to suggest that he could play anywhere else other than in the front two. So that is an issue in itself, to be fair. Right. It's one of them with Rutter. I wouldn't be completely heartbroken if he left. I wouldn't really be that gutted. If we were able to recruit the money, the fact that he can only really play in one position, it wouldn't gut me. But if we do keep him, he can certainly be very useful for us if we do continue with a 4-4 Mike Bassett style front two.
Thankfully, it's not a Mike Bassett style front 4-4-2. Thank God. I'm with you, Oscar, and I think largely the 35 million coming back would be mostly, you'd think it would be at the end of the window. Like, this is a big hypothetical, right? Because for me, I was like, well, where's he going to play if we get Amiri? Amiri's obviously not coming in to play that true 10. Maybe we do get a number 10, but I don't think we do. And so I think we probably,
you don't think we get a 10?
We're not going to get a 10 of the quality of Amiri, I don't think. And so I'm happy to see us play like with a second sort of, not target man striker, obviously, but with a second striker in whatever it is with those two interchanging parts. And let's be real too. When you have the kind of wingers we have that move like they do, it's a nightmare to defend against those four players because they're constantly moving and interchanging. So it showed. Ipswich, look, they were due for a loss, and it is only one match, but they've been a very difficult team to play against for a long, long time. And it's, their home record was very, very good. So those are definitely causes to keep an eye on the situation. I think for me, if we were able to get an Amiri type player, I'd prefer him over Jorginho, but I'm not ready to sort of take one match as like, oh, this is who the player is, because we don't know. It could be just one really good result. However, let's just assume for a minute these are the kind of performances we can expect from him. I wouldn't mind to see him there. But if you're asking me, would I take the 35 million over that? Yeah, I would, because in January, we're talking about a whole new FFP scenario. If you take 35 million off the books through the transfer, because it's a massive, remember these it's a 3-year period, and it like half a year to half a year. This does roll over, right? And it's the fiscal year begins in January. So it would be a massive change, I think, for us in terms of what we're able to spend. That being said, like, I would like nothing more for him to keep up form and be great for us. That'd be awesome. But I still think that's a little bit of a stretch.
If you're going to sell any of the forward players, it will be Rutter for me. Especially if you're getting offered 35 million. If we have to sell one of them for FFP, as Gabe said there, Rutter's the obvious one, isn't it? Yeah. Really, Somerville's already showing what you can do in a Leeds team. Nonto, Sinisterra is exceptional. He is the obvious one to sell, if we are looking to do that. And I think what it's also, to follow on from Gabe's point about the number 10, the natural number 10 or a second striker, I think we kind of can play a second striker now with Jed Spence arriving, because Jed Spence is an absolute ball retention machine. You can't take the ball off him. He's a really good passer of the ball, super reliable, play it through the lines, can hold the ball deep, hold it high on the pitch, links up well. Effectively, he's like a wide number 10. The way Jed Spence plays, he has got that skill set to him to keep the ball. He can invert into midfield as well, like we are seeing fullbacks do pretty much in every team these days. There is less demand for the number 10. I'd still like a natural number 10, don't get me wrong. But I think with this, the fact that we've got a player on the pitch who can sort of control the game with the respect of how well he can keep the ball and how versatile he is, in terms of where he can receive the ball from, it really is going to help us in that sense. And obviously, the factor that he's so, I'm not about to swear then, but he's so rapid, he does massively help us in that regard. But I would still prefer a natural number 10. But you can definitely play a second striker. We showed it against Ipswich.
My question is, though, Oscar, with Jorginho, do you think teams will start to scout him a little bit? Because he had a lot of time and space on the ball against Ipswich. And I know Ipswich is a good defense at this level, and I know that the Championship is not the Premier League, right? It's that there is more space and things like that. But I do wonder a little bit if he has a couple good matches, if he's one of those, because he is limited. We've talked about it. Like he has limitations. He isn't a true 10. He's not, his close control isn't great at all. I mean, his goal is fantastic, right? But like you think in the center of the park in tight spaces, he's not always gonna be your best option. I do sort of wonder if he's a largely, I don't want to say he's unknown. Obviously, these teams have their scouting department and stuff like that. But do you think it's easier to play against a team that's playing with two strikers and one isn't a true target? You know what I mean? I just think I wonder if, I think the reason why Farke likes that number 10 is you get so much more out of that position than just a second striker that plays off the shoulder. And so I'm sort of like, I'm wondering, even if he does continue with the kind of performance, our team's going to adjust and be able to, is it easier to play against that setup for Leeds United, even if we bring in Spence, than it is with if we had a true 10?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them. I mean, obviously we've already got Shamie Shackleton, of course, as an option with that assist on Saturday. I was hoping to get a response off Connor there. Oh, I got a bit of a response. I got a bit of a bite. That's what I was after. But I think since someone got that injury, I think we've definitely focused compared to pre-season, that first game. A lot of our creative threat comes down the sides now, and I think the fact that you have a second striker there alongside Perot, that you just invade the box a lot easier. If you're looking at Nonto, Sinisterra, they've got two options to aim at in the box rather than just one. If you play a natural number 10, who maybe wants to stay a little bit deeper. The fact that Rutter and Perot both looked to attack the box, when crosses came in. A lot of the goals on Saturday, against Ipswich came from, following up really. And the Perot goal, the Nonto goal, it just came from having that space on the back post because, Ipswich, with that back three shape, all their focus was on Rutter and Perot. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, Nonto's in behind, makes it 1-1. Then you've got the Sinisterra moment that led to the Perot goal. It's an interesting one. It's a very big development from Daniel Farke. But I still think, with a natural number 10, there's no getting away from the fact that it would make us even more creative because it gives an extra creative threat through the middle of the pitch rather than just the sides. But I think in terms of what Spence can do, because we're going to dominate the ball against most teams, Spence is going to effectively be playing as a winger for us. The way we play, certainly against Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday, they're going to be a team that drops deep.
That's what I'm most concerned about, because Ipswich, even though they're a good defensive team, they were playing an open match against us. There are going to be teams that are just going to drop off and pack the box, and that's where I'm concerned about a guy like Jorginho.
But ultimately as well, though, like you can be a team who drops back, but if you've just got the undivided quality that let's say if you're taking Sheffield Wednesday as an example, a bang average, below average team who are just going to sit back, they're going to be able to sit back for so long, then it's going to happen. Of course, it's relative, but Man City do the same thing every single week. It's relative, as I've said. Leeds are nowhere near Man City, of course, but what I'm saying is the drop down in leagues. Leeds are one of the dominant ball possessors in the division, obviously. So you're going to pass them, and there's going to pass them into problems. And alongside that, you've got the individual quality now as well to win games. You've got match winners, and that, I think that's what we saw on Saturday. I think the problem's going to be, it's going to be interesting because I think I think the big issue is going to be Sinistera. I think he's going to be the big problem for the remainder of the window. And I know people are trying to manifest it in terms of he's definitely staying, he's definitely staying, he's definitely staying. I'd keep an eye on that one. I'd keep a very big eye on that one. But it'd be interesting to see if we lost Sinistera, similarly to Southampton losing Nathan Teller. Decent money, recouped some decent money for him, of course they have. But replacing Nathan Teller at championship level is going to be really difficult. So it's all well and good getting the money, getting that financial package. But if Leeds were to, let's say hypothetically, Leon really do go for Rutter, it's all well and good. We're all accountants. We're all, financial fair play. We're in this bracket, we're out of that bracket. If we get the money in, fantastic. But Leeds have then got to reinvest in 2 of that front 4 that we saw absolutely demolish one of the best defences in the division at the weekend. Yeah. We've then got to reinvest that money and get everything fit with those that front 4 like it was at the weekend. They've got the cohesiveness, the relationships have got to form, and it's a big problem. And you look at Sinistera. Sinistera for me there is a potential that he's the best player the Championship has ever seen, and I'm not just putting that out there. I genuinely believe his ability is like top 6, top 8 in the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. If they keep hold of him, that's going to be massive. But I don't know. I'd be a bit worried about losing him and Rutter with.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't. I agree there, Connor. Like if Sinistera is going to go, then you don't let Rutter go. We do have as good a Somerville and Nanto combination out wide would be. I mean, there have been injuries, and neither of them are as good as Sinistera yet in their careers. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to what'd you say, manifest? I'm hoping to do that hippy dippy stuff.
It's like what you guys were saying, and you're right. If you can keep that 4,
yeah.
Even if there's movement in January, which is going to be really difficult because we're going to be able to put like prime value on these players in January anyway, because teams are going to be playing. I think you're going to get teams testing the waters in January. If you're getting Nanto, we don't have to worry about this now, but Nanto, Somerville, Sinistera, if they're flying, which you would expect them to do in the Championship, I do think that you're going to get Premier League teams, Serie A teams, Bundesliga teams testing the water. But Leeds are in such a good position at that point. Financially, you'd expect to be able to say to them, look, these guys are playing well for us. We can demand top dollar. But if we're able to keep them beyond how long have we got now? Is it 2 or 3 days? 2 or 3 days. That's the best piece of business of the window. Did
you see what Sinistera did to their defenders? I mean, it was embarrassing for them. He was, and by the way, great ball in by Jamie Shackleton. Shout out to Shaq.
It was some pass. To be fair, it was a good pass. It was lovely little assist, to be fair. But I think Sinistera still had a lot to do. I mean, it's like the Luke Ayling technically got the assist for the Jorginho Rutter goal, didn't he? I mean, yeah, I think that's a very...
How many touches until it's not an assist anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what's the rule on that?
That's a very broad use of the word assist. But
that's a hockey assist now.
Luke Ayling's pass from 60 yards away counts the same as Shackleton's pass to Sinistera. It's just crazy. But that is the thing. If we do keep Sinistera, that is without doubt the best bit of business of the whole window, not just Leeds, in the whole Championship. There has not been a better bit of business than that. You look at Leicester, they lost Maddison, they lost Harvey Barnes straight away in the window. If we manage to keep that level of player at this level, he can easily get 15, 20 goals this season. I think that's probably 15 seems low to me. I honestly think 20 if he stays fully fit.
Yeah.
There is no reason why he can't hit 1 and 2s consistently over the whole season. And then you've got assists to put on top of that as well. Perot, just the Perot and Sinistera link up straight away is just absolute top class. It is absolutely massive for us that. Obviously, you've still got the situation with the left back, but as I said before, if you've got a front 4 that's that good and carries that much attacking threat, you'll win so many games of football at this level. Look at Brentford when you had Benrahma, Mbuemo, Watkins, BMW they called it. That's Brentford team when you actually look at it in terms of the breakdown of it. Some of the other players that are in that team, you kind of forget about. People like I can't even remember the names now, but there was after that front 3, it wasn't actually that good a team. In terms of quality. Right. Outside of that, but it just carried them so far that it got them there, kind of thing. And I think it could be a similar story. I also think Sinistera is a far better player than any of those players I mentioned from Brentford.
Right.
having that quality at the top end of the pitch will massively help us this season. It will see us win enough games, I believe, to at least kind of get top 6, if not be pushing higher up the table, because the league is not high quality. I think straight away it's quite clear I'd say the 4 best teams in this league are the 3 relegated sides plus Norwich. There looks to be a big difference in quality.
Norwich look good.
Yeah,
Josh Sargent went down with an injury. 3 goals, and he's gone down with an injury. So, I mean, who knows what'll happen to Norwich now?
God, yeah.
Yeah, with Sargent.
I don't know how they're going to live, mate. God, no Josh Sargent. Fucking hell. They might even put someone better up front like Adam Eder. Who knows?
3 goals in 3 games, Connor.
Not going to lie.
Yeah, Johnny Rowe and Adam Eder, I think they'll be fine.
To answer the comment, if Shackleton scored 10 goals, Connor might give him some love.
I literally said on my review after the game, I was like, he made a lovely weighted pass and played really well. And I still get hammered for giving any sort of...
But did you say it like this? He played a lovely weighted pass.
Well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? It's Jamie Shackleton. Like, Jesus Christ.
You started off hoping people were fantastically well and then instantly dragged down Jamie Shackleton.
Yeah, well, dragged out. Stop mentioning players like this. Nah, I'm joking. Of course, I said on the video as well, he could be a utility man this season. He could be the Stuart Dallas of this season, which I'm fine with. Utility man, not starter.
Hey, why do people keep mentioning Sheffield Wednesday with this mug?
Steel City, you mug.
That's Pittsburgh in the United States.
Yeah, Sheffield Steel City, mate, in England, and we're playing them next weekend. So maybe get another mug, you mug.
Maybe I'll smash the mug. But it's not Sheffield's colors, is it? It's Pittsburgh.
Is that an owl on the back of it as well? It better not be.
Great. It's an owl.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Talking about Sheffield Wednesday, but someone's already supporting Wednesday.
I'm gonna wear my Grimsby shirt. I have my Sheffield mug.
Yeah, so this is what you need to learn. Right, okay. When you thought Harrogate, you thought Scunthorpe, and you thought Grimsby were in the Championship. All this shite.
Wait, first of all, no, hang on, stop it. I've never said anything about Harrogate or Scunthorpe. That's never happened. I'm being slandered on the internet.
Everyone will go find me.
This is libel.
Yeah, all this sort of rubbish. And now you've got Steel City. You didn't know Sheffield was a Steel City. Oscar, that's shocking.
Why would I know about the failed industrial cities in England? Why would I know that?
For a man who lived in Leeds, he doesn't know that Sheffield. He lived in the Yorkshire region. Enough,
I didn't study the Industrial Revolution's impact on English cities.
Well,
that's not what I studied when I lived there.
If I was in America, I'd do the research, mate. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure you would.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you would.
Listen, next time we need to get some quizzes in here for Gabe. We really do. Go get your Grimsby mug, Gabe. Yeah, it's a shocker that. So have we got the team lineup for tonight? Anyway, it feels like
City.
It feels like no, we'll be out yet. But, so Luke Thomas. Defensively, a little bit suspect. Probably not going to be getting in under Enzo Maresca because of the system that he plays. Don't mind it in a Daniel Farke system, Oscar. Sort of compared him to Jamal Lewis of that Norwich team. Defensively, okay, but very decent going forward. Lacks maybe a little bit of physicality, but a decent technician on that left-hand side. And I wouldn't mind that at all. There was Josh Timon who was mentioned. I would go, and this is just on the profile of player. It's just me enjoying this player. I would go for Charlie Taylor still.
You do surprise me, Connor.
Yeah, I know. I'm very predictable, aren't I? But I do feel that Charlie Taylor is a better defender than Luke Thomas, but I also appreciate Luke Thomas as a profile at left back.
Yeah, I think Charlie Taylor is the one we look purely off profile. He makes the most sense because when you've got Jed Spence in the team, he's effectively a winger. You know, in this system, he's effectively going to be a winger. And I think really, you look at how the rest of the team's going to play. We know Sinisterra is going to be very high and wide. We're not really going to have our left back overlapping as much as what the right back will be. We've seen Charlie Taylor's play some games at left centre back for Burnley. He's quite used to playing like a makeshift back three. You know, when we're in possession of the ball, it makes a lot of sense. He can also overlap as well. Defensively, he's nice and solid. He makes more sense than probably anyone that I've seen mentioned, to be honest. Luke Thomas, though, yeah, I agree. I could go with it. I think the fact that at this moment in time, as I kind of said with Charlie Taylor, we're not playing an out-and-out left back at this moment in time. You know, Sam Byram's gone in there. He's kind of mostly playing in midfield, Sam Byram, whenever you watch him. Whenever I see him, I very rarely... In fact, that assist against Ipswich, probably the first time seeing Sam Byram actually go past Luis Sinisterra. So, it's very interesting how we're using our left back in this team, but I do think Charlie Taylor suits it to a T. The fact he's left-footed as well. Luke Thomas will be fine though, in terms of what he does, high energy, maybe not the best defender in the world, but a nice solid option to have compared to what we've already got already. I mean, we can't exactly be choosers, beggars. Beggars can't be choosers, can they? I got that completely the wrong way around. You know what I mean? We are in a bad situation, our left back situation. In terms of Junior Firpo is the only natural left back we've got.
Oh, jeez. I forgot about him. From
that straight away. Luke
he posted
Thomas,
a photo of himself coming back to play the other
Bomb
day.
scare. We're not calling him Firpo anymore. It's Bomb Scare on this channel.
It's but Junior Firpo, I don't think will play anything this season. I don't personally.
Know, mate.
I'm sure he will.
You saw that little post he put up where he's got the the time emoji. I'm like, Junior, no, just go out.
Do you remember he had like 1 or 2 good matches last season, and we had a bunch of people being like, "Give him a new contract." It was like,
but there was a 2 good matches though. Just to what's his name on that was because the rest of the team was absolutely diabolical in those particular games.
It was terrible.
Yeah. I mean, that goal against Southampton was the most scuffed effort I think I've ever seen. Like, the goalkeeping on that.
I love the club's propaganda after that. They gave him an interview. They gave him about 15 different spotlights. Like there was the angle video they did on YouTube where it was like 17 angles of Junior Firpo's scuffed finish against Southampton. It was terrible. God, the Premier League was awful. Do you know what? I'm now having mild anxiety about future projections of Leeds getting back to the Premier League.
For God's sake.
Because of how bad it actually was. This is what this club has done to me over the past 2 years.
You don't want to go back.
No, I'm thinking to myself, look, it was 16 years in the abyss, and I didn't really know what that Premier League, obviously I knew it from when I was a kid, but very, very marginally. And I thought 16 years in the abyss, it'd be great to get back to the Premier League. But after what the Premier League did to us, it was so nice at the weekend losing the ball and then Ipswich countering on us and just being shite at finishing. It was really nice. That was great.
Because last season they were finished every time. Yeah,
it was just any time they'd lose the ball in the midfield area, it'd just bounce to Harry Kane. He'd smash it in the bottom corner, or it'd go to Jordan. It'd go to Jordan Ayew, and he'd twat it in the back of the net. And you're like, how's that happen? Then it's Jordan Ayew, but it's just. Yeah, it was just every standard up there was just a nightmare, it felt like.
It was.
Yeah. So what are you looking at, Gabe?
I just wanted to see the top 10 cities for steel production in the world. Who do you think number 1 is?
Jesus Christ.
Who do you think number 1 is? Do you think it's Sheffield? No, you're wrong.
You're going to say Pittsburgh?
It is Pittsburgh.
Oh, great.
Number 2 is a city in India. Sheffield doesn't even come in the top 10.
Oh, well.
So let me tell you who the Steel City is.
You're doing this
place I've only lived once.
You're doing this stupid patriotic thing. It's just known over here as the Steel City.
It's not even patriotic. I live there. It's not patriotic.
It's like we're the only Steel City around here. It's like, Gabe, just like.
Should I put a cowboy hat and say it's a steel run?
Yeah, exactly. Vic
to be fair, I didn't love living in Pittsburgh.
Sheffield has it.
There we go, Vic.
I actually don't. I mean, I lived in Sheffield for a bit, but I have no.
You did. I went to visit you in Sheffield.
What was that like, Oscar?
Sheffield's a nice place, mate. It's decent.
Right,
I know you hate every English city, but Sheffield's all right.
It was a genuine question. How was that?
The only
I want to know how it went.
Name one nice city in England that you like. It's Bristol, isn't it? That's it. It's Bristol.
I've said I liked Leeds last week.
Well, I'm not sure you said you liked Leeds.
I said I liked Leeds.
Okay.
What do you like about Leeds, Gabe?
Does it have to be England, or can it be the entire of the UK?
No, you can't. We can't be talking about England and you bring it back to Pittsburgh again. You need to name.
No, I said the UK. Can it be the entirety of the UK, or does it have to be England? For
England.
I like. Oh God. Yeah, Bristol was nice. I did quite like Bristol. I thought the beach was poor at Brighton, but I did like Brighton itself when I went. It was fine.
Maybe I should redirect that question. Cities in the north. What cities in the north do you like, Gabe?
I went on a night out in Newcastle that I liked.
Okay, Newcastle. Okay.
No one does not like. How can you not like Newcastle though?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I've been to Durham. I've been to Coventry. I like both those places.
You've been where? Coventry?
Coventry was a nice, like, chilled out sort of villagey place, I felt.
You like Coventry, but you don't like Leeds.
I didn't say I didn't like Leeds.
People in Coventry don't like Coventry.
Wait. Hey, I liked Leeds. Let's say it with me now. I liked Leeds. I did like Leeds.
Did you go to any nice? Did you go to any nice areas around Leeds? People are saying Skipton, Ripon, Harrogate, York, all these places. Where
the Otley Run is mostly what I was concerned with.
The Otley Run. Otley's a nice place as well. To be fair, Horsforth, if you ever go back, North Leeds, very nice.
I lived right near Hyde Park for half my time in Leeds.
Hyde Park, things definitely go on in Hyde Park. Coventry there's a bit of a debate in the comment section. Whereas, would you classify Coventry as in the north?
No, it's Midlands, isn't it? Right? It's properly Midlands, isn't it?
You're right. There we go.
Hey, this is caricature that I don't know anything about England.
I'm thinking to myself, do I want to claim Coventry? No.
What do you mean?
I can tell you more places I didn't like though. Doncaster.
I think there's probably a lot of Doncastrians in the chat, I reckon. So
apologies.
Leeds is in Doncaster. There's only one team, and it's Leeds United. Doncaster's great. We all love Doncaster. Donny Dome. Talk about Leeds. Oh, sorry. Okay, we've been told off by Larry. We're told off by Messi.
Messi himself has told us.
Okay, but Luke Thomas overall, we're happy with that as a signing. Cause it looks like a lot of one guy said online from the Leicester side, he said it's done with Luke Thomas, but now there's rumours online saying we're looking at Matt O'Reilly at Celtic.
Matt O'Reilly?
Yeah, Sky reported it. Yeah,
that's mad. What are Celtic thinking?
Are you happy with that, Oscar?
Yeah, I didn't know it was a rumour. Matt O'Reilly.
Yeah, apparently.
Oscar suddenly sounded very northern, didn't he?
Yeah, Matt O'Reilly. Oscar, I've never heard you. I've never heard you that squeaky.
I'm amazed. How's happening?
It will be one of those.
Yeah. You think we're Tottenham at the start of the window?
Oscar Carrier is into the chat.
Yeah, I think.
Seriously, Matt O'Reilly.
Is there another Matt O'Reilly?
Are you messing with me here? Matt O'Reilly.
Do you want to get a glass of water?
He was linked with Tottenham. Going to join Big Ange.
Yeah, join. But the thing is, mate, there's a connection with Ange and Leeds, isn't there? There's a connection. We've got Steinson. There's a bit of a Spurs connection going on. Ange said that apparently his dad was a big Leeds fan. So, he's been nice.
Why didn't he join us back when we needed him in February?
Oh, that'd have been nice. We wouldn't have even approached him. We wouldn't have even approached Ange. Guaranteed we didn't. But anyway.
He should have approached us.
He's too intelligent. He's too intelligent for Victor Orso, isn't he? To take one look at him and gone flipping.
But seriously, Matt O'Reilly, I did go very Guy Neville. That is absolutely unreal if we get that done. That would be a sensational signing.
Well, there we go. An endorsement by Victor Oscar there. So that's
worst thing you've ever said to me. That
Victor Oscar. So are we thinking Glenn Kamara's ever going to get done, or how's he coming?
I think he's probably hitchhiking here himself, or maybe Wayman's giving him a ride.
Is he walking down? What's happening? Is he on a scooter? What's going on? Do we? Oh.
What?
Just saw your big sausage fingers clubbing.
I'm looking up this Matt O'Reilly thing because I think you're messing me up here.
Have you not got a phone you can do it off, or do you have to
just like some kind of weirdo doing the creep?
That is absolutely unreal. It is true.
What does the report say?
Actually, just come off it.
Oh, Jesus. Well, okay. What is it true? I've just seen the comments in the chat saying Matt O'Reilly apparently.
Yeah, he's genuinely getting linked to Leeds. That is insane. He's literally played every game for Celtic this season as well, so it doesn't make any sense from a Celtic point of view. But listen, if Brendan Rodgers is that bad, by all means, Matthew, make your way down south to Leeds.
Who would you rather play against? I don't know. Who's in this? Who's a crap at St Mirren? Or Norwich. Norwich. That's what we're talking about here. I was about to say Inverness, but I don't know if Inverness are in the SPL. Are they in the SPL, Oscar?
How the fuck would I know?
That's a shocking comment, Connor.
Well, there's the monetization gone, flipping it. Matt O'Reilly.
Yeah, probably.
This literally could be true. I wouldn't even know. I'm so sick of Bournemouth. What
It's Oscar ASMR.
Deleting that line for the next.
I need to look at this, but that's messing around, isn't it? That Bournemouth thing.
I hope so. But
Please
you never
don't do
know.
this to me.
It's Bournemouth, isn't it? But at least we know what gets Oscar going now. Just mention Matt O'Reilly.
O'Reilly much prefers playing against St. Johnstone every season. I think he'd rather stay in.
It's a bit easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
You going to bring up the fact that you just call St. Johnstone, Oscar, or is it going to be me?
I didn't even notice it.
No, okay.
I mean, Scottish football is that dull.
Oscar's not a racist.
Relax.
Oscar's not a discriminatory person. Look at him. No wonder you have a soft spot for him. I do too now.
He's an old firm a couple of times a season, and that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, this stream
just wrong, hasn't it?
It's all gone wrong. I've got the giggles now. So is what time is kickoff? Is it 8 tonight? Do we know?
Yes, 8 o'clock.
So this team should be out. Leeds have arrived at the peninsula. Yeah, Leeds United. Leeds United and Southampton are interested in Matt. He's slightly midfielder Matt O'Reilly, Sky Sports Lyle, who was the one who reported Jed Spence one of the first times, I believe. So it's us and Southampton. I'm so sick of Southampton and Bournemouth.
I've been to Southampton, by the way. That's a bleak city.
Oh, right, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I found.
Did you go to Portsmouth?
No, I didn't go to Portsmouth, but went to Southampton.
Portsmouth's supposed to be class, by the way.
Really?
It's supposed to be like the Newcastle of the South.
I went to the University at Exeter. That was a nice little school.
University of Exeter. Yeah.
I visited a friend there. Liverpool, I liked.
Yay!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's very artsy, Liverpool. That's cool.
It's not as spread out as Manchester, is it, Gabe? You know, where Connor is.
No, listen, No, I'm not going to say this. Never mind.
This is a Leeds fan channel. You can say whatever you want about Manchester.
Right. So when you're rolling into Manchester from Leeds, right, and you're in that part of the city on the train, and you sort of look around, it just looked like an air raid from the Second World War never got repaired. It was horrendous.
Hey, listen. I'm not gonna comment on that one. It is where I live, but yeah, I'm not gonna.
He's in dangerous territory here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you. It's everything shit about Manchester. Manchester shit. Oh yeah, I'll just get on that tick box with every Leeds fan. Anyway, moving on quickly. So the lineup has been announced for Leeds United against Salford. I wish it was that way. It's the other way around. Darlow, Yelder, Shackleton, Cresswell, Strout making up a back four. Ampadu and Gray. Not sure I'd have gone for bloody hell. Somerville, Jorginho, Nonto, Gelhardt. Wow.
We've chosen violence tonight.
If Gelhardt doesn't look good in that lineup, I swear to God.
We've chosen violence.
Chosen violence. He has, hasn't he? What a menace.
Salford, I apologise. Well, I don't apologise.
It's the second Game of Thrones reference in a row, Connor. You didn't jump on him for it.
What did he say?
He said he's chosen violence.
Oh yeah, but I think a lot of people don't actually think that's from Game of Thrones, but you just get really excited about Game of Thrones references.
Yeah, I do.
What are your thoughts on Ampadu and Gray starting again together? Are you happy with that or not?
I think Archie needs a rest. To be fair, I think Archie's been. Well, I think that's our best two players this season on pure performance. They need a rest, to be honest.
Kamara can get here in time.
Get a rest.
If Kamara gets here, he'll have a rest.
Yeah, that's true. But that's an if. It's we'll still be talking about Big Glenn next January, I think.
I don't know if he's a real person.
But he doesn't play for Rangers anymore. It's like, did he? I don't know. Did he go to Saudi as well? But like, it was so many players have gone to Saudi. He's just kind of been forgotten about.
Yeah, he's going to pop up in a Saudi Arabia team.
Yeah, sure. Aspo, we've just been speaking about it, mate. Thanks for your donation. But yeah, I mean, Matt O'Reilly, an interesting one. So they've swiftly moved on from. I mean, Oscar, in this setup, where would you look at O'Reilly? You're looking at him as a creative or a central midfielder?
I think number 10. I think he's got the intensity to his game. He's maybe more of a natural, number 8, but I think he's more of an advanced number 8. You know how like Man City use their number 8s in terms of KDB, Bernardo Silva, where the number 10s really, but they're playing a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
I think they can, certainly Matt O'Reilly can play higher up the pitch. He's got that intensity to him, press resistant, gets in the box late, can effectively almost be a second striker like Jorginho is a little bit. But I just think he's such a refined version of what we kind of need at number 10. And listen, it might seem a little bit bitter towards Amiri, but again, a bit like what you were saying with Aarons and Jed Spence, Matt O'Reilly makes a lot more sense than Amiri for me. The fact that he's playing football now, Amiri's not played for like 2 or 3 years as a starter. This is a real. I think it's 2 or 3 years. Allow it, Gabe. Allow it. We're doing Amiri slander here. Yeah,
2 or 3 games. He's saying he's not played as a starter. But fine. Yes, he's never been a starter his whole career.
Last 2 or 3 years, I believe.
Not every game, but he's starts.
Has he? I thought he's like hardly got a game last 2 years.
No, he's got plenty of games.
Okay,
it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. We don't want him. He took one look around on the grounds and said it wasn't good enough.
He did play well in those games. Yeah, allow it.
Yeah, Parag told him to buy his own flight home.
He was awful. He's Brendan Aronson is number 2, but Matt O'Reilly is going to absolutely cook in this Leeds team.
So what we're going with then as a score prediction tonight then? Yeah, I think it's an interesting lineup. I agree with you. I think the starting 2 in midfield I wouldn't have gone
Drama
with.
Still can't get in over.
Yeah, good point.
Cody Drama can't even start against Salford. He's got to be gone, right? They have to be dealing him.
Yeah,
one of the right backs will have to go if Jed Spence arrives. You would think, and it was most likely going to be Cody Drama, isn't it?
But as well, like if you're rotating right now. If you're rotating right now and Shackleton put the performance in that he did at the weekend in comparison to Cody Drame, you're obviously going to put Yelder there on that left-hand side. Why would you put Drame? Like I actually get it from Daniel Farke's perspective. Why on earth would Drame go in? I don't get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I also think if Joffrey doesn't play well and really show something today, he's probably off as well.
Yeah, he needs a couple of goals or something tonight. He needs something. If
you can't score with that front 3 behind you and you're against Salford, there's a big concern there with Joffrey. And listen, I've tried to defend Joffrey as much as I can. There's talent there, but he has to start delivering now. And this is what an opportunity this is tonight. Salford away. Yeah, you've got that front 3. He has to deliver tonight, really. Yeah, it's getting to that point, really, with Joffrey now.
He does, definitely. All right, everybody. Well, quick predictions for Salford then. I will go with a 3-1 Leeds win. Gabe, what are you going for?
You're just copying Aspo. 2-0 Leeds.
2-0 Leeds. Oscar?
I love the clean sheet, but I'm not going to go with the clean sheet.
Come on, Oscar. Believe in something.
4-1 Leeds. I'm not going to go with the clean sheet.
4-1 Leeds. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. We really appreciate you stopping by with us tonight. It's been an excellent debrief with absolutely no structure, but a lot of laughs. We'll be back very, very soon. We're potentially going to add some more debriefs. That'd be quite nice. I know you guys are absolutely loving the episode. Before you leave tonight, please make sure...
Matt O'Reilly's special, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. Please make sure you slap a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out Gabe's new channel. Check out All Leeds TV as well, where Oscar features heavily. And guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we will see you in a bit. Cheers.